Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with nice conditions around the area this morning with temperatures in the low 70s and a slight breeze out of the north-northeast. And should see nice conditions as we move through the day today, not expecting any precipitation or lightning around the area. We'll keep those temperatures slightly below average today, and then we'll start to see a warm up as we move through the remainder of the week. But right now, things are looking fairly dry as we move through the second portion of the week. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions and a front moved through the area, but it does look like that front will be on the dry side. Taking a look at the current surface analysis, high pressure and control over the region, keeping things quiet. We've had this area of low pressure just north of the Great Lakes that's going to be tracking eastward and bring a cold front through the area tomorrow evening through the overnight time frame. That will be the dry boundary that likely weakens and dries out as it moves into the local area, with the very slight chance of a shower or storm during the overnight time frame, so outside of normal working hours as that pushes through. But we'll see, again, as mentioned, slightly breezy conditions ahead and along that boundary for Thursday and Friday. Upper level winds this morning out of the northeast near the surface, becoming westerly to southwesterly as we go up through the column. Peak wind this morning was 43 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level was at 12,800 feet. Current visible satellite starting to show that daytime cumulus field developing along the coastal areas north of Wallops, and expecting that to fill in over the local area as well as we continue through the morning and into the afternoon. Likely seeing those ceilings developing around 3,500 feet this afternoon. Similar to what we saw yesterday, we'll see that dissipating as we go past peak heating and into the evening time frame. Looking at the European model here for the next several days, as mentioned, we'll see dry conditions as we move through the day today with one more day of some easterly flow, and then we'll see that more southerly component building in as we move overnight and into the day on Thursday ahead of this boundary that starts to approach the area. That southerly component is going to gradually increase as we move through the day today, becoming slightly breezy. We'll see a slight chance of a wind advisory, particularly later in the day and into the evening, the closer this boundary gets. We'll also bring in some of those more mild temperatures, with temperatures climbing back into the 80s for the remainder of the week. But we'll see as that boundary approaches through that overnight time frame, most of the shower activity staying well to our north, and the boundary kind of weakening and drying out as it moves over and through the local area. So just seeing some slightly breezy conditions and not expecting any precip, or at least a very slight chance, about a 15% chance or less, we see any activity locally here at Wallops. Moving through the day on Friday, we'll continue to see some slightly breezy conditions once again during the afternoon. It does look dry and staying on the warmer side, and then as we go into the weekend, we will have a second boundary approach in the region. This one looks to have a better chance of actually bringing some showers and storms locally through the area. European model still a little dry, but other models indicating a better chance we see some showers and storms pushing through during that Saturday night into early Sunday morning time frame. Then behind that, we'll see temperatures cooling back down into the 70s, so slightly below average temperatures once again moving back into the area, and we'll see some nice weather moving in to start off next week with high pressure building in control as another trough drops across the area. It does look like we'll see that boundary stalling out off to the southeast, and the European model here, we start to get some divergent solutions in the models as we move into the middle of next week. You see the European keeps that boundary a bit stalled well away from the coast. GFS does try to bring that boundary back in towards the coastline, and with that some precip chances, but again a bit far out to really narrow down those details. Looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions for the next 24 hours. We'll see our high temperature up around 77 degrees. As mentioned, those winds out of the northeast to east-southeast, so easterly component to the wind as we move through the afternoon today, right around 7 to 12 knots. As we go into the overnight time frame, we'll start to see more of that southerly component to the wind. That's going to help keep things a bit milder for the overnight low around 62 degrees this evening, but still below average for this time of year. As mentioned, expecting the ceiling to develop around 3,500 feet this afternoon as those daytime cumulus clouds develop, and we'll see that back to mostly clear conditions as we move through the overnight time frame. maybe a chance for some patchy mist around the area. Tides are running a half a foot to a foot above normal. As we go into the extended forecast here, both Thursday and Friday, we'll see partly cloudy and slightly breezy conditions. Both days will have a slight chance of seeing a wind advisory for both days. Again, mainly on the later portion of the day, particularly as that boundary just ahead along that boundary. Keeping about a 15% chance of any precip or lightning. As that boundary pushes through, it does look like things will dry out, but we will see those temperatures climbing into the 80s as mentioned, and we'll see 80s continuing into the day on Saturday ahead of that next boundary that pushes through, and that's going to bring that better chance for some evening showers and possibly thunderstorms, looking to be about a 40% chance at this time. And as mentioned, back down into the mid-70s as we move through Sunday, all the way through into Tuesday. We'll see some lingering clouds around on Sunday, but then gradually clearing skies as we move Monday to Tuesday, and just holding a 10% chance late on Tuesday with the possibility of a boundary trying to work its way back in for the midweek, but again, high uncertainty with that at this time. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.